The very last step in our research process, as we look at the kinds of information you may need for your research assignment, is internet research. Now, as you do internet research, the central goal is for you to think critically about what you're finding, to decide whether it's current, whether it's accurate, whether it's thorough, and therefore something that you should use confidently in your research paper. So go with me, if you will, to step 4 on our How to Do Research guide. There are a number of boxes on this guide, so there's quite a bit of information available, but we're focusing in 2 places, in the very upper left and the very lower right. So we're going to spend a little bit of time moving through the Prezi file that's linked to in that upper left box, so that we can look at how to conduct internet research effectively. And then we're going to look in that lower right box at the Google Advanced Search. The primary thing I'm going to show you there is how to find statistical information from a government agency, so that you have some information that may be a little more trustworthy than what you would find from an organization that's trying to accomplish a particular goal in relation to your topic. So I'm going to go ahead and select that Prezi and walk you through it. It's called Online Research Bring Your Brain. It's so easy to be a lazy researcher. We're good at it. It's easy to get a lot of information quickly, and so we're not very critical. The question you need to ask yourself is, why am I online anyway? You remember need, source, evaluation, citation. What do I need? I want you to be purposeful. So think about the kind of information that you need right now. If what you're looking for is something in one of these categories, the great likelihood is that that is easy to find online and probably more efficiently found online than it might be found elsewhere. Still, if there's a more appropriate source for that particular kind of information for whatever reason, because you can't verify how current it is, or you're not sure where a particular file came from, if there is a better place to find it, use the better place, even if the internet is easier. So I want to talk to you a little bit about domains. I have 4 listed for you here, and I just want you to read in each case what that domain means regarding where it comes from or what's included there. So .edu. If you use information from a .edu, I want to be sure that you know who the information is coming from and what their qualifications are. .com. These are commercial websites. Anyone can create one. It's very important that you identify the author or the sponsor so that you know which organization is providing the information for you. Often a .com will not include individually authored articles. Often it just comes from an organization. So you're really evaluating the credibility of the organization itself. Now, one exception would be news websites, and there you're able to find a particular author and feel a little more confident. .org websites come from organizations. Just like anyone else, organizations tend to show that we all agree about something, right? We join clubs because we feel strongly about something, whether that's an issue or an activity. So remember when you use .org websites that they're good places to find specific points of view, but they're unlikely to give you a fair, even-handed representation of all of the issues regarding the topic that you're researching. And finally, .gov. When you use information from a government website, I want you to be very careful about identifying the sponsoring agency. So know, does it come from your state? If it comes from Michigan and you're trying to talk about information in California, that's probably not the best choice. So make sure if it's a particular government agency or jurisdiction that it's appropriate for what you're trying to accomplish. Government sites also tend to kind of stockpile information and put new information on top of old information. So make sure that the date of the material you want to use is appropriate for the purpose you're using it for. I really don't want to let weak sources make you look bad. I think you're a smart person. I think you're a critical thinker. And I'd like you to demonstrate that to your professor by using high-quality internet sources in your research paper. So you can see I've created a little test for you here that describes 4 categories in which you should really evaluate what you're looking at online before you commit to using it. If you look at the first letter of each of those categories, you can imagine what we might call this test. The first category is currency. Is the information that's provided for you recent enough that it is both appropriate and accurate? If you can't tell, you need to move on to a source that provides a little bit more information about the material that it's publishing. The second category is relevance. When you're doing internet research, you really want to pull information from sources that talk extensively about your topic, that are more likely to cover some of the nuances, and to really acknowledge or address some of the issues that might be related to that subject. If it's only a passing mention, you probably should pass it up and move on to something that's a little bit more thoroughly about your topic. Our third area is authority. The question here is who wrote the material you're looking at, and why should you trust what they've written? Right? The first part of this is author. So we really are asking who's the author or the organization, who stands behind this, and why should we trust them? And then finally, purpose. What exactly is this organization, author, agency, school trying to accomplish by providing the information that's here? Do they want me to vote a certain way, to believe a certain thing? Are they beholden to the country because they're a government agency? They're just required by law to make that information available. You should be able to have some sense of the purpose of the website by looking at it carefully. The goal of this evaluation at its heart is to be willing, when that source doesn't really measure up in some of those categories, to let the source go and move on to something that you can feel more confident trusting. On our step 4 page of the How to Do Research Guide, below the link for the Prezi, you can see I've provided a checklist for you. It's not an assignment you need to turn in, it's just a resource for you, so that if you want something to look at and check boxes as you evaluate a website, you have a tool for doing that. Now, I told you we'd also look in the lower right-hand corner of that page so that we can explore the Google Advanced Search. So go ahead and select the Google Advanced Search, and you'll see a number of search boxes available for you. My earlier search topic was gang violence in California, and in this case, what I really want is statistics about that topic. So I'm typing the word statistics in the first box. If I don't tell it I want statistics, how can Google ever know? So I'm going to put that in there. In the second box, my exact word or phrase will be gang violence. But let's say I remember that I really wanted information about California. I'm going to go ahead and include California in that top box with statistics. I really want all of the words in that box to be included in my results, so I want the word statistics in there. I want the word California in there. Then I also want, from the next box, the exact phrase gang violence. With those 2 boxes filled in, I'll scroll down to the bottom half of the screen, and there is only one box that I can actually type in. So in the box next to the label that says site or domain, I'm going to type in .gov. As I said, the government is good at collecting information, and in many cases is actually required by law to make it public. So I'm going to put .gov there and conduct my search. And in my list of results, I see sites including the FBI, CDC, which is the Centers for Disease Control, Office of the Attorney General here in California, also the National Gang Center, the U.S. Department of Justice, Statistics and Research. So there are a lot of really solid websites there that will provide for me statistics on gang violence that include at least some reference to California and that come from government websites. This is just one way to find a specific kind of information. If you're not finding what you need, please come to the library and ask for help. We really are glad to help you. We want to help you, and we are looking forward to seeing you. Good luck with this assignment, and good luck with the course.